Good morning, everybody. I hope this video finds you well. I don't have a lot of time as of late. I've been very busy. But I do want to throw some stuff out for you, and today I want to talk a little bit about the discoveries in Egypt. Now, for those of you who are not aware, there have been some underground scans using muons, I believe, of the entire the entire plateau where the Great Pyramid complex exists. And they go down a couple of kilometers, and they have determined that there are underground structures of some type underneath the Great Pyramid and the pyramids there, which of course is very cool and very interesting to me. And they show graphical scan results and show us how to interpret those scan results. And in so doing, through their interpretations, we have a pretty good idea of what they think they're seeing. And I'm not belittling it. It seems to make sense to me. They seem to be pointing to 6 cylindrical structures on top of 4 square or rectangular structures with spiral staircases or some kind of spiral passages going down the outside of the cylinders. And these are cavities of some type. And they're large cavities, kilometer or larger in height. And this brings about all kinds of unique Egyptology references and ideas of past civilizations such as Atlantis or other things from great antiquity. That's all very interesting. Can I validate any of it? Not me personally, but I do find it interesting. So I wanted to find out what was going on. I talked to some of the AI engines out there. I was talking to QN 2.5 Max, which is a up-to-date chat bot, sort of like DeepSeek. It's a little bit different. And asked them for some clarification and clarity on what's going on. And of course, a lot of the things that it's saying results in a healthy group of skepticism. And I'm not going to discount what it says, but neither am I going to discount these other scan results. Let's go through the obvious. The only way we're going to know if there's something underneath the pyramids is if we actually mine down there, reach through the rock, and see it firsthand. That's the first thing. Personally, I think there's something down there, but we don't know for sure until we actually go. The second thing that I want to say is something that should be obvious, but think about it, guys. If what they're seeing is correctly interpreted, 6 cylinders going on 2 main square boxes, it's not really a architectural feature. It suggests some kind of engineering feature, perhaps having to do with vibration and harmonics, suggests, but we don't know for sure. It's only speculation at this time. One thing's for certain: cylinders and spiral staircases are not part of ancient Egyptian architecture. And because they're not part of ancient Egyptian architecture, one has to say, assuming that these interpretations are all correct, one has to conclude then the obvious, that this is from some civilization or some creator that predates the Egyptians. Well, isn't that what everybody else is saying? Don't you think? And I'll go along with that. I will absolutely go along with that and agree with that. Now, I've read a couple of writings of some people that are absolutely convinced that the Great Pyramid and these structures were constructed about 50 BC, 50,000 years BC. And that the surface structures, the rebuilding of the ruins or remodeling of whatever existed, occurred around 20 to 30,000 years BC. Very interesting thoughts. Apparently, these people who advocate this alternative history and alternative narrative are convinced that this was a teleportation device of some type, using the geologic and base organization, mathematics associated with it, to create a teleportation system of some type. Fine. Okay? I don't know. I'm just telling you. What's the truth? There's no absolute truth. There's no absolute truth. The only absolute truth we know is what we experience. I think they call that nihilism, but I don't know. My consciousness only knows what it experiences. And I read this article, and some other people are convinced that it's something really cool. So, right offhand, telling you what I see and what I'm exposed to, is if you've watched the videos on YouTube and everything, and have been paying attention to the chatter on this, it's pretty exciting. Let's cut through the chatter, cut through the noise, and go through some of the other stuff. There's a discovery. There's something there. Could be natural, could be flawed data, could be something unexpected, could be exactly what people are saying it is. It could be anything. And but we don't know, and we won't know until somebody goes down and sees. My guess is, because it's so deep, that's not going to happen in my life, but you never know. All kinds of black operations occur, nobody's ever told, and things are done for various reasons. Actually, it's pretty noisy right there. That's an old motorcycle. Usually China's very quiet. But every now and then you'll get an old motorcycle or car that's like 30, 40 years and making all kinds of noise, and it sounds like United States or Vietnam or something. Crazy ass stuff. Anyways, so we don't really know, and this is what I'm trying to tell you here. We don't know until we find out. So, with this known, I know just enough to be dangerous. And the only thing that I can add or bring to the table is what the domain commander has to say. And as I've said before, the domain commander has a tendency to provide information based upon what I can understand. If it enters the realm of something I can't understand, great distortion comes in my interpretation of it. So domain commander generally uses imagery or senses or tickling my senses one way or the other to assure me that I'm interpreting what it, he, she has to say. So, in regards to what the domain commander has to say, here we go. You guys ready? Number one, there is a structure underneath there. It is a legitimate and real structure. Number two, it predates the pyramids. Now that's a little tough one to get because everybody's talking in terms of this structure is intentionally part of the pyramid. No. The answer that I'm getting is it predates the pyramids, and the pyramids were built on top of it for other purposes. In regards to the current situation of the status of what is underneath there, there was apparently some trivial repairs that were done to there, but it was not fully repaired and is therefore not operational. It is just ruins, empty husks, formations of garbage ruin stuff that once had purpose, but hasn't had that purpose for a long period of time. And what the purpose had to do is, I don't know. When the domain commander tells me, I cannot understand what his purpose is. Communication, teleportation, consciousness acceleration, I don't know. But the domain commander specifically tells me, I do not know. And if they could tell me, and if the domain commander could explain it to me, it would take a long time because the basic precepts of what it's all about, I don't know and don't understand. So that's disappointing, and I'm sorry, guys. I know you don't want to hear that, but that's what it is. In regards to all this, that it comes in association with a older society that existed on the earth that was apparently destroyed by the old empire. The old empire apparently destroyed, and that's where the ruins and everything. It wasn't destroyed because of lack of use. It was destroyed in other ways, and it had purposes. And that's what's going on. So, guys, I just wanted to go ahead and tell you that. I hope that it helps you in some way. Maybe it's a little disappointing, but I'm just giving you a raw feed as I'm doing. Let you guys come to your own conclusions. And with that, guys, take care. Remember, I believe in you. I really do. Bye-bye.